Arcane Season 2 is now officially done and dusted. It is out on Netflix for you guys to go and check out all 9 episodes. So let's talk about it. Okay, so we have Arcane Season 2 now done and dusted. I have my other reviews on Arc 1 and Arc 2. Arc 3 has officially come out now, and I finally got around to watching it. Now, I had loved the first 2 arcs of Season 2, especially Arc 2. To me, that was a 10 out of 10. It was just fantastic. And like, that ending to the final episode of that arc was some of the best writing you're going to see all year. Just fantastic. So, I had really high hopes for this finale, for this final arc. And I'm going to tell you now, I am satisfied with how it ended, but I do have a few things that I was kind of like, oh, I thought this might come into play here. Because we know that there's not going to be a season 3 for this. Now, whether or not they do other spin-offs and stuff like that, who knows? But I had a feeling that there was a potential of us getting things rushed. And I felt like in this final arc, there were things that were rushed. Not like rushed, where you're like, what are they doing? Like, I just feel like if maybe they made one of the episodes an hour and a half long, I think that's what I mean. It's not missing a lot. It's just missing like an extra, half an hour here and there that I think could have dived into a little bit more of the character arcs and the characters themselves and some of the plot threads and plot points, which I think would have elevated it to another level. But I'm not going to sit here and say like, it's awful because of that, because it's like little minor things that they could have just added this here and there to just elevate certain scenes and make me, feel a bit more in those scenes by extending it a little bit more and getting more of an understanding of these characters and where they're going and how they progressed. And I feel like there was a chance to really do more with that. So that would be one of my main criticisms of this final arc, is it was a tad rushed. But I don't blame them because they had to wrap it up here. And I think they did a really good job at wrapping everything up with what they did. They didn't go over the top and cram so much in there where you're like, there's way too much in here. I feel like what they did with switching the villains around and giving us the true villain at the end here, that Viktor is the true villain here. He's the one that is going to cause the destruction of the world, I thought was fantastic. At the start, we thought Jinx was probably going to be the main villain here. Like, everything's going to be revolving around Jinx. And as we watch this story, we start to see Jinx become a different character. She starts to come back to Powder rather than be Jinx. And I loved that character arc that she went on. To me, Jinx is my favorite character of the show. I think her character arc is just superb. And the ending for her character was so satisfying. I sat there and I was like, yes, that's how you do it. And I must say, Jinx's entrance here was freaking badass, man. It was so freaking cool. And so I loved her, and the way that she and Vi finally made up and, mended that relationship, and Vanda finally got to rest in peace as well. So I think all that conclusion with Vi and Powder came to a great conclusion. So I commend him for that. Now, in one of these episodes, which is the first episode of Arc 3, they actually go into a different timeline and we follow Echo. And I loved that story with Echo. I wanted to see more of Echo. I really did, because I liked that character. And especially, I would have liked to see the interaction with him and Jinx after that. Because we watch him go into that timeline, and he's with Powder, not Jinx. So he's in a completely different time where everything is more peaceful. None of this has happened. And he's seeing that and he's throwing back because Powder is, different. She's normal. She's not evil or anything like that. So he starts getting this connection. He builds this connection with her. So I would have liked it when he came back to the present timeline that we're in, to see that relationship with Jinx and how he was going to deal with that, what he was going to say and everything. I feel like that's a missed opportunity that they could have dived down. I think Echo could have been a little bit more like, development here in this season. And I think we just did not get enough for that. So whether or not they didn't have time to do that and they couldn't fit it in, then that's fine. But I just feel like that was a missed opportunity because Echo was really, really good in this final arc. I just wanted to know more and dive into more about him. But that episode when he goes back is fantastic. And then you have Jace. And Jace gets put in the timeline where everything is destroyed. And this is where we find out about Viktor. And he's the one that destroyed it all. So now it makes more sense why. Because I remember in Arc 2 when Jace showed up and hit Viktor, I was like, what's Jace doing, man? What's going on here? This is crazy. And then we finally get the reveal here, which I'm glad they did in the first episode as well. They give you that reveal and you're like, oh, makes sense. I get it now. So that was really good. And I loved Jace's arc throughout as well. Jace had a really, really good arc. Him and Viktor, brilliant. I thought using Viktor as this villain, but giving him the idea of he feels like he's the hero here. Like, he's not truly evil. Like, that's what I love about this is Viktor is not an evil villain. He is the villain, but he's not pure evil. His intentions are not evil. He has good intentions. He wants to free the world from, pain, suffering, and everything like that. But in the pursuit of doing that, he takes a wrong turn and misjudges what his actual goal is. And in the process of achieving that goal, he is actually doing more harm than good. And I love the conclusion with him and Jace and how it came full circle with them two. The form that Viktor takes is absolutely fantastic. Dude, that design was freaking awesome. It looked godlike. And that's what I was expecting. So that was fantastic. And Viktor, fantastic as a character. There is one thing here that I thought was kind of odd and weird to put in here, and that was the Vi Kate scene in the jail cell. I get what they're trying to do, but I don't think we needed that. I think that was a little bit over the top. I mean, we were trending down a different sort of genre with that scene, and I guarantee some people were eating that up. I'm guaranteed that. I didn't feel like it was necessary to show that much of it. I think there was a better way to do that, personally. Then you have the conclusion with the Rose abilities and stuff like that with her mum and her, and that was interesting, and that came to a full conclusion. I wanted to know maybe a little bit more about that as well and dive into that a little bit more, but that's okay. We also have Kate's conclusion coming to an end here, which I really enjoyed as well. So Season 2 of Arcane. I think Season 2 is better than Season 1. I will say that. I think I gave Season 1 an 8.5 out of 10. This is definitely... Look, Arc 2 is a 10 out of 10 for me. Arc 1, I would say, is a 9 out of 10. And the finale, I would say an 8.5. So if I was to give it a number overall, I'd say a 9 out of 10 for Season 2. So it is an improvement on the first one. And somehow they kept the quality. The animation was stunning. I feel like the story was great. I would love to get a Season 3. I would have loved to have a Season 3. But I would love to revisit this world. I'd love to go back in and dive into other characters and other stories and that. And yeah, I feel like we've only touched the surface of this whole entire thing. I know this had a massive budget. I think it was like 250 million or something like that to make this, which is crazy for an anime sort of like, thing that only has 9 episodes in Season 2, it's kind of crazy. So whether or not that was the people that they got to voice it, they had to pay them and that. But overall, I thought it was fantastic. It was really, really fantastic. Like I said, I have little issues here and there about certain things rushed that I'd like to add, maybe change a few things here and there. But overall, I think it's fantastic. So let me know what you guys think of Season 2 of Arcane. Did you guys enjoy it? Smash it down in the comment section below. Smash that like button. Click subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe and peace out.